Are you stuck? How about unhappy? Join Alena Chapman, author, mentor, and life coach for Magical Moments with Alena as she challenges you to get out of the doldrum and start living your life to the fullest. In just 60 minutes, Alena will help you take control of your life and push you to do the things you never thought you'd do. So get ready to take back your power and celebrate life with Magical Moments featuring Alena Chapman.
Welcome to Magical Moments, and I'm your host, Alena Chapman, and you know this show is all about that ease and flow and betterment in your life. And right now, we need that ease and flow and betterment. And, you know, I get it. We're still in the COVID thing. We've got elections coming up. We've got constant ads. We've got constant stuff going on. It's almost too much. But This show is Ask Alena, and you're going to be asking me questions. Now, everybody on Facebook is going to be asking, plus we had a bunch of calls in, and I want to make sure that you guys feel free to let me know how you feel about these answers to these questions, or maybe it springs a question to your mind. Now, if it does, go to soulmanifesto.com in the contact area, and that's how I'm getting the questions. If you're on Facebook, you can just put your question right there on the comments, and I will try to see it. But it's important because there's no reason why we have to go through life without knowing something better. You know, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to evolve. So if you're waiting to evolve and get past something in your life, then write a question. But let's get started. I do have a magical nugget for you today. Are you still settling? Ooh. What do I mean by settling? You know, like you're at the weight that you don't want to be, but you're not losing weight. Your love life is stuck in reverse. You have a job versus a career. You don't have any passion. You come home, you might have a little bit of dinner or something to drink, and then you go to bed, you get up and you start again. And you're just settling in life. You never feel really excited. You might laugh, but you don't feel excited about life. You don't get up ready to start the day. You get up kind of not happy. Okay, that's settling. That is settling. And settling is sneaky. It's really sneaky. It comes in, we start justifying it. Well, yeah, I can't lose weight because, you know, it's just not the right time, or gosh, I really like those donuts on the corner, or whatever it is. Or, you know, I'm settling, okay, my love life is stuck in reverse. I'm not going anywhere with it, but I don't know. Nobody's out there. Nobody's out there for me. And as far as a job, I don't even know. I can't accomplish that. That's way too big. And we make up all these excuses justifying why we're settling in. And really what it does, it causes us to be in this comfortable space that's not so comfortable. It's easy to go with the flow and just to settle, get the job that's expected, have the family that's expected, or not have the family that's expected, to do what is expected of you. And it lulls us into a complacency. And it's fine for a while, and then all of a sudden we think, what in the heck happened? That's why they used to have, I forget what they call it, when someone hits 40 or 50 and all of a sudden they realize their life is half over and they start to buy new cars and stuff. Isn't that funny?
Midlife crisis.
Midlife crisis. And that's my producer, Kayla. She's right there. I love it. Midlife crisis. Now we don't have a midlife crisis because our whole life is a crisis. We have let it grow into our whole life. Okay, not all of us. And you know what? There's it's really not hard to start to change this settling. And I'm not saying, okay, wake up tomorrow morning and just get out the door and just start everything new. Oh, that's enough to send you to the mental asylum. No, you need to do it in strategic baby steps. Notice how I say that. Strategic baby steps. And I say that because, you can do the motion and chase your tail. All right, I'm going to lose weight. So I'm going to start this big giant diet and I'm going to just jump into it and I'm going to lose all this weight in 3 weeks. I'm going to go get those little shots in my stomach. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to hurry and get this done. Okay. No, it doesn't work. How about strategic baby steps? This week, I'm going to up my water. Next week, I am going to really start to up my exercise a little bit more. Or maybe I'll do water and walking this week. And then the next week, okay, I'm going to start cutting down carbs. Do you see? And then you build. The strategic baby steps are ways that you know that are going to be big leaps in your progress, but they're not really difficult to start. And that way, when you're in that complacency and you're in that lulling, that sleepy motion thing, that comfortable life of settling has given you, this is a way for you to start tiptoeing out. Once you see that you're walking 3 days a week and your water's up to 8 glasses a day, okay, oh my gosh, I just put my foot outside that comfortable circle of complacency and I feel better. I feel more active. I'm more productive. Okay, I'm going to start cutting down my carbs. Now, I know I used diet as as our experiment, okay, or if we're getting the same person or we're not even knowing how to find a person, then we got to sit down and think again. All right, what do I want? What do I want in my life? Who would I feel comfortable sharing my life with? And then the strategic baby steps. Do you know, when I first started, and I still do it. I don't do it every week, but I still do it. But when I first started, I saw the Alice in Wonderland looking through the glass mirror or whatever. She said, I do 6 impossible things before breakfast. I thought, oh my gosh, that's incredible. But I can't do it before breakfast because that means I have to get up like at 3. Not going to happen. So I thought, what about 3 impossible things in a week? And this is what got me onto strategic baby steps. Because those 3 impossible things, no, I didn't say, okay, I'm going to be on the moon by Friday. But the impossible things were things that I thought were really hard to do, like making my book an international bestseller, meeting people that would help to influence me and build my business, building a team, an A1 team. Now, that took a few tries, but we finally got it right. But these were the kinds of things that I would sit on Sunday night. I would get myself a hot cup of tea. I would sit in my wonderful, sacred, comfortable chair, and I sit down and I title my paper 3 Impossible Steps, or 3 strategic baby steps. You could do that too. I like 3 impossible steps because I love the challenge. So then I write down 3, and then I start on them. And it may take a little while, like making an international best-selling author. All right, I'm not going to just become I want to be that. That's the goal. All right, so how do I start? There you go. Now strategic. I find out somebody who knows how to do it. 2, I build my following. Do you see what I'm saying? Those are all doable strategic baby steps to the goal. And when we do this, it sets us up for success. And when we have success, it's easier to leave that comfort zone, that complacency, that lulling sleep you're in every day, and start creating a life of passion. First, you put your foot out there, and boy, that step works. That strategic step works. Okay, all right, now I'm ready for the next one. All right, now I'm going to build the following for my book. Okay, use that. And then next, okay, I'm going to get my whole leg outside of there. Do you see? And oh my gosh, that was a success. I built my following. All right, now what's next? I got to get my book into the publisher. Get that going. Here we go. And before you know it, you are outside of the sleepiness. You are waking in the morning. You are excited. You are forming new friends that are right in line with you. You're feeling good about you. Your back is straighter. Your head is taller. You feel good because you are now awake. More and more, they're proving that the secret, the fountain of youth, the secret to a long, healthy life is passion and purpose. It is not complacency and sleepiness and comfortability. It is somebody who feels their life has a meaning and they are moving towards that in baby strategic ways. Settling, I really feel, is just like setting yourself up to tiptoeing into the world of death. I'll be quite frank. And it's not why we're supposed to be here. Settling is just something we've been sold. And it's not what it's supposed to be. Life is supposed to be fun, exciting. Yes, there's obstacles and challenges. Sometimes we even start out in our adulthood with a lot of obstacles because of how we grew up. But it doesn't mean we can't get ourselves started. Most people are settling. When I was one time, I'll tell you a story that's very interesting, and maybe it'll hit home with someone. One time I went to this person, and she was saying, I don't know why, she just suddenly started talking about my love life. And at that time, this was about 2 years ago. And she said, so are you dating anyone? I said, no, not right now. And she said, you're going to have, she offered this free advice, which she probably shouldn't have. She said, you're going to have a very hard time finding someone. And I said, oh, okay. Thanks for putting that thought in my head. Why? Why do you say that? She goes, because you don't need anyone. And I thought, that's interesting. So I said, all right, thank you for your advice. All right. And I went home, and it kind of stuck in my mind. What in the hell did she mean? So I was driving down the road, and I said to my mom, I called my mom, and I tell you, divinity sometimes just like a lightning bolt shoots through my mother, comes through her mouth to give me something because it knows that I need to be hit over the head sometimes. So I said, Mom, what does this mean? I mean, why would she, what does she mean? What I don't need anyone. And my mom says, well, you don't. I said, okay, so where does that leave me? And she said, listen, this is the thing. If you need someone, of course you're going to find someone because you settle. You settle for anything to fill that void. You settle for someone to be in that house and so-called take care of things. You settle for that person to make you dinner every night. You settle for the model of a person. But if you aren't needing someone and you feel full in yourself and you feel good about who you are, and that takes work, guys, but you shouldn't be going in and giving someone else all your freaking baggage. Take care of that yourself. And if you're feeling good now and you've worked on yourself and you feel like you are a person, an alive, functioning, happy person, then you want to share your life. that person isn't coming in to fill something for you. You're not settling for anyone. You're going to have standards. You're going to start looking at that person like that person is going to be my partner. Is that what I need? And actually, one of our questions today talks about that. So I guess this was a long little nugget that I'm giving you, a magical nugget. But I have to say, it was an important one. And I hope it gives you a little bit of a wake-up call. Am I settling? Where am I settling in my life? So we have some really cool questions coming in. And I would like to, Kayla, do you have a question for me?
Yep, I got them all pulled up right here.
Oh, cool. I love it.
All right, we'll just start with the first one. We'll go in order that they came, okay?
Okay, go.
First one says, Dear Alena, the month of September always feels so much like renewal to me, more so than New Year's, because kids are going back to school, the leaves are changing.
Yeah.
What's your advice if you want to use September to reinvent yourself?
Ooh, I love that question.
So true. September is kind of the month for that.
I know. We should change New Year's to September.
I'm in.
It's
my birthday month, so, it's like I would just celebrate all month long.
Oh, yeah. You celebrate everything at once, starting over in 1 month. I love that. Maybe we should do that. I think it is. It's when the kids go back to school and everything's getting into more of, well, you have a little more freedom, I have 3 boys, and when my kids all went back to school, I was like, oh, my gosh. I'm free for a whole 6 hours. So I get it. And it's the perfect time for you to start to look at yourself and reinvent. All right. So let's think about this. I'm big into that baby strategic steps. I really am. So let's talk about how you can set yourself up for success, because you have 4 weeks, I think. Yep, 4 weeks. So first of all, I would sit down. I'm big on these lists. I would sit down with your cup of tea or whatever you like to drink and start saying, okay, these are the areas I want to focus on for this month. And I'll tell you what, for this month, do just 2 areas. Do 2 or even 1 area and be really effective in it in your life. So that could be, all right, the losing the weight or increasing the exercise for health. Or maybe you're looking at starting a new business, or maybe whatever it is. But do you see where I'm going with that? And you start writing down what it is that you want to do this month in the big categories. And then, just like I said in the opening with the magical nugget, then you look and say, okay, so this week I want to be, this month I want to reinvent myself. I'm going to start doing some wonderful, healthy things. I'm going to start eating healthier. I'm going to get my family, I'm going to plan our meals. Write it down underneath that category, your little baby steps, okay? Say all of a sudden you're looking at a career. All right, I'm going to take every day just 10 minutes or 5 minutes, and I'm going to tap into my imagination and start thinking of things I really love. Make a list of things I really love. I'm going to start tapping in and seeing where I can go with that. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wake up and think, what is fun today? Write down strategic steps to find that business you want to do. Everything has little steps. And that's the thing. As you accomplish those little steps, you're going to get more and more comfortable. And maybe you've got some heavy stuff. Who knows? Maybe it's time for forgiveness. Okay. Then forgiveness is something we all should be doing anyway. I mean, we carry around these things like freaking chains around our hearts. So maybe you want to forgive. Maybe you want to do some inner work. Well, then, set up a time. Put together a wonderful sacred space. I love my sacred spaces. Fill it with candles, someplace that's yours in your house. It can be a chair. It can be a room. It can be whatever. It can be your bed. And you decorate it. Maybe if you're really earthy, you want to put earth stuff around it. If you are gemmy, put gemmy stuff around it. If you are candly like me, you put candles around it. You do what makes you feel comfortable and alive. I always love going and just lighting all my candles around because it sets up in me. I am going into my sacred space to do some self-work. And then I always imagine a white light around it. That's to keep everything out, including the dogs. Okay? And then but this is the thing, when I step in, now I used to always say, no worry, doubt, or fear shall enter here. But since I don't seem to have those critical thoughts very much, but hear that little phrase because it's nice. No worry, doubt, or fear shall enter here. Instead, I say, I'm free. And I step into my sacred space. And then I get myself nestled in. I'll probably do something fun. And then I start to do my inner work. I start to do a meditation, and I love a wonderful light that just comes down through my head. This is a Taoism meditation, and I allow it to move through my body, and every time it stops, there's usually a block. And then that's when I can talk to the block, figure out if I want to keep that or let it go. And then if I have to forgive, then I start doing more of living through without judgment, without any kind of attachment, the whole situation to find the higher truth so that I can forgive and let go easier. If you want to learn more about that, get hold of me. I'll teach you because that's a little long for here. But that is a wonderful way, the freedom that gives you. Oh my gosh. So if you're looking to work on yourself in that way, that sacred space is a big, giant friend. But whatever you're doing, it's that strategic baby steps of moving forward. And I know when we decide that we have all this time and we're just so gung-ho and we want to just launch in, and we do too much the first day and we do too much the second day, by the third day, we're already pooped out. That's why I'm saying, okay, start smaller, build bigger. Do the strategic baby steps one at a time. Don't launch everything on yourself. It's too hard to maintain. Start doing the small things, and then it will build, and it will build, and it will build. And by week 4, you have totally changed your life for the better. That easy. It really is that easy. So I applaud you for using this September month, not just to sit down and drink hot tea and not do anything all day, but to say, okay, I want to better myself. I have the time right now. Just do it in a wise, strategic, baby set way. And you will ace this. Ace it. I'm so excited. That was a wonderful question. That was a very up question. Thank you for that. Do we have another?
We've got another. But you only got about like 5 minutes left in this segment, so maybe you just kind of slowly get into it and then really punch it home in your next segment.
Oh, I get to punch it home.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
So here's how it starts. It says, "Dear Alena, I recently started dating someone." Oh, looks like you guys have that in common.
Ooh.
"I recently started dating someone and we decided to be exclusive. How can I let go and enjoy this process but not lose sight of watching for any type of warning signs or red flags so I don't just fall, quote, in love with someone? And
Yes.
I'm really taking positive steps to making sure this is the proper partner for me."
Ah,
That's a loaded question.
that is.
Good luck.
She's so supportive. All right. So you're right along the same lines as me. And so it's very interesting because I had to ask myself the same questions. Isn't that nice? Don't you feel good with that? Because you want it to go well. You're in this new relationship. And oh my gosh, the first few weeks, months, glory, hallelujah. Everything is right. You know, he's just attentive. He's supportive. He's just cool. But what happens when that changes? Or what happens when life gets a little more real and the newness wears off? It's like you have a new toy, and then when the toy is not new anymore. That's what it is, guys. Well, let's break it down. Well, we'll talk. I want to answer that in fullness, but I'll tell you, there's something I have learned, and I am using it. And I'll tell you in about 3 minutes after this break, and we are going to talk big time about it. The other thing I will also hint at, red flags are red flags. So you don't have to look for them because they're red. They're humongous. So you don't have to focus on worrying about what the red flag is. It'll show itself. I remember one time I was dating someone and I was on the phone with my mother again. I guess I talked to her a lot. And so we're driving and I said, Mom, this guy is doing this and this and this. And she said, my dear, those are called red flags. You need to adhere to them and stop, period. But see, you don't have to worry about finding them. They're there. You're listening to Magical Moments, and I'm your host, Alena Chapman, and we're having Ask Alena, and I tell you, this is such a fun time. I love Ask Alenas. So just come right back, because I'll tell you the key that I have about relationships that seems to be working so fantastically, not only relationships, but my whole entire life, I am going to give away to you. So come right back.
Thanks for listening. Your weekend continues with Magical Moments featuring Alena Chapman right now.
Welcome back to Magical Moments, and I'm your host, Alena Chapman. And oh my gosh, the very cool questions that we're having. And I'm going to tell you, what I'm saying for this one question that's coming up that Kayla will read again is that this one secret that I have found for the relationships in my life, with my kids, my mom, with my job, with my friends, and with my love life. Da, 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 da. That is what I want to talk about. Kayla, could you read that question again?
Sure thing. It says, Dear Alena, I recently started dating someone and we decided to be exclusive. How can I let go and enjoy this process but not lose sight of watching for any type of warning signs or red flags so I don't just, quote, fall in love with love? And I'm really taking positive steps to making sure this is the proper partner for me.
I love this question because, I think there are people that fall in love with love. They just love that feeling. Well, why wouldn't they? When you're in love, everything is exciting. You're floating on cloud 9. You see the world in new rosy colored glasses. I mean, it's fantastic. Why not? It's how we should be seeing life anyway. But this is the thing. If you're falling in love with love, you're not falling in love with the person. So I used to, when I was growing up, we called women in college, the ones who were career set and those with the MS degree, looking for a marriage. And I'll tell you, they didn't fare so well because they were looking more for love, and they were more into, I don't know if women still do this today, and the young women, they seem more career minded. But when I was growing up, they would have that wedding planned before they even had the guy. That blew my mind. That just blew my mind. Yeah, you are marrying a person and being in love. I think that feeling you're looking for is something you've got to find within yourself. That's where you need to look. So now we have someone who's starting a new relationship. We have someone who really wants to go in with eyes open. She doesn't want to come in with all that prejudgment and that wariness. She wants to enjoy this person and learn about them and celebrate a partnership, a real friendship, and then a lover. Okay? So how do we get past that? How do we let go of that fear of the red flag thing? How do we just open ourselves fully to this relationship? And for the person who asked the question, that's what it really is. And that's scary. I get it. It's scary. To open yourself up to this person, this new person in your life who could hurt you so incredibly bad, right? I get it. It's scary. It's scary. So then we hide behind all this. Okay, is he this? Is he or is she this? Or oh my gosh, she likes to have dessert before dinner. That is a deal breaker right there. Do you see what I'm saying? We get so protective. We put like armor around ourselves because we're scared of that vulnerability. And it's really saying to ourselves, you know what? I got to give this a chance. I'm going to open up. He or she has got to see who I am, because we're building something here. This isn't just a date. This, we're starting to see each other exclusively. We're starting to build a relationship. And if this is going to go anywhere, let's start with the real people. And that doesn't mean, you bring out all your gross stuff, or whatever, the stuff that, I don't know, whatever it may be. I know people say, well, I'm hanging all out. Well, let's bring out our higher self. Let's bring out the person who you truly are, not just the habits that you have decided to keep, because those can go. But the person you really are, the person who laughs at everything, who doesn't get jokes, the person who has a strong sense for her or his family, and that love is important, who may have a career that they absolutely adore, a person who might be an introvert and love that private time. Bring in all of you, that person who's made many mistakes and who has learned, that person who loves to treat herself to an ice cream cone once in a blue moon and just relishes it like a child, who has those childish moments. Bring in all of the facets of you, the true facets, and allow yourself to be. And if it doesn't work out, that's okay. It just means it wasn't the time. But meanwhile, you had fun and you met an incredible person and you have grown. Now, that brings me to my special thing. And I have been working on this for quite a while, and I finally am learning. And it's concepts. I'm learning and evolving. I am never going to stop evolving. That's why I'm a spiritual curator, folks. Because I have a quest for the knowledge and draw from all modalities, from all religions, from science. I am constantly learning and growing. And this one concept, expectation, expectation. And what do I mean? Expectation is, we have it. We grow with it. Expectation means, this is how my mom and dad had their marriage. This is what I saw. This is what I like. This is what I'm going to have. That's it. So you enter into this new relationship. These are my expectations. And the funny thing is, we keep them inside so the other person doesn't even have a freaking chance to know what's going on. And we sit there with our expectations, and then we're like, oh, nope. He or she didn't do that. Okay, that's one thing right there. And it's so funny because we feel so justified in this imaginary expectation world we have created in this bubble around us. And we feel justified to judge this other person because they're not meeting our expectation. Interesting, isn't it? What if all those expectations that we have learned, that we have accepted as normal, that marriage and 2.5 children thing, and I know that sounds so simple, but those other expectations, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of one off the bat, expectation that the man always has to be the savior, that the man is supposed to chase after you, that he's going to ride in on a white horse. And for a man, that this woman is just going to adore and obey. Oh, God, that word hurts. Everything you say. These expectations that we have learned through religion, through our parents, through schools, through media, through everything, and been flooded with. What happens if it's all pretend? What happens if it was just all made up by people who had a good idea or thought they did and then spread it around and everybody adopted it? Expectation. Kind of look at yourself. Am I expecting things of this person? I used to work in right relations, and I hear a lot, and right relations dealt with divorces that weren't playing nice in court, or parenting that wasn't playing nice in court. So I would get these people in my classes, and I have to say, a lot of times, a lot of the problems came from two things: baggage that they brought from their growing up years, their not previous relationships, whatever it may be, and expectation. Well, when I said I wanted to leave, he didn't chase after me. He doesn't love me. That's what I heard that. I actually heard that. What if that poor person you just left was so crushed they couldn't even think of doing anything like that? And why would someone chase after you if you don't want to be with them? Expectation, folks. So this is how expectation works. So when you go into say I want a new relationship, it's going into that relationship with a total feeling of opening your heart to the friendship and the love and watching it evolve. Now, sure, okay, like I said, I'm in the same boat as you. Do I want a partner in life? Do I want that sharing, that, yes, it makes life so freaking exciting. And okay, it would be great to have that person. And I bet my friends would be so relieved, because then I won't be calling them every 2 minutes with some exciting news. I can just have this person there, and I can share news. I can share when I'm upset or when things haven't gone right. I can talk through concepts. They can talk through concepts with me. We can just have fun and celebrate this life, And this is important. If I'm loaded, I want this, but I'm not going to have expectation that that's what it's going to grow into. All I know is that I want to be happy. That's okay, because you should be happy in everything, and you create your happiness. And I do have, that's the other thing, I do have my core, and if you don't have this, you should. Your core, the real things inside you that mean a lot. Like for me, it's support. And whoever I'm with, whether it's a friend or it's a lover or it's a guy or a girlfriend, I want to feel like I'm home. I want to feel like I'm home. I love to joke around. I love to have fun, but I also love to cuddle. All these things. I'm going to put them, that's what I want. Make your list. And then let it go. Let it go. Enter into this person that you think might be the one. Just listen. Open up and listen and be yourself. And start celebrating every moment that you're together. And then it will, if there's red flags, man, they'll come out. Because you've got your coreness inside you. You're not expecting, but you know what you can take and you know what you can't. It's that simple. You don't have to put up an armor. You've got it inside. You know. So why not just be you and the wonderful facets of you and enjoy each other? Don't expect him or her to fill any role. Do not expect them to be some plastic form, robot doll, or whatever, Stepford wife. Don't expect them to be that. Expect them to be, oh my gosh, another soul. Because that's what we are. We're souls within a body. Man or woman, you're falling in love with the soul, folks. The realness. And that's what we got to treat it like that. So guess what? If you're falling in love with the soul, whether you're man or woman, you're going to have that vulnerable place. You're going to feel good and you're going to feel bad. You're going to feel secure. You're not going to feel secure. You're going to feel like the hero on the white horse, or you're not going to feel like the hero on the white horse, or the heroess. Is that a word? I don't know. Whatever. I don't know if it's a heroess, but anyway, you get what I mean. You're a soul. You're a soul. And you're falling in love with that other soul. And there's this incredible connection that can happen when you allow that to happen. And even if things don't work out, it doesn't end badly because you have that soul. It's another level. I think if we allowed ourselves to be like this and didn't put such heaviness on each other all the time, we would be so much happier, and we would find that our relationships would last a lifetime. So, take down your armor, spend a night finding out what really, really means, what really would set your heart on fire. Then send it up to the universe and say, this is what I'm going for, but I'm going to let you handle it because you can do so much better than me. And then start enjoying this wonderful journey you're starting to go on with this person. Okay? And if you have any more questions, you can send them to soulmanifesto.com. And there's a contact information. You can write it in there. You can get hold of me on Facebook. You can text 46862. You can do everything like that. You can get hold of me, okay? And I wish you well. I wish you an incredible, fun, romantic, sexy journey. Do we have another question?
You do. You've got another one that just came in here.
Okay.
It says, Dear Alena, I'm being told a lot that I need to set up better boundaries. I am so boundaryless that I don't even know how to begin to do that. What does that even mean? And how does someone go about setting up boundaries? I would not want people to think I'm putting off, or I do not want people to think I'm off-putting or cold or not approachable.
Yeah.
Can you help me take the first steps to doing this? Boy, that's like a 3-parter.
Yeah, but I get it.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
take it away.
Yeah, okay, here we go. All right, boundaries. Dun, dun, dun. Boundaries. All right. Boundaries is like a word that we've been tossing around, that and gratitude, all over the place. And it's been misused just like gratitude. Boundaries. You've got to set up your boundaries. So people go out there and they're like, okay, nope, you're too negative. Nope, you're not on my vibration. Nope, can't have you. Nope, can't have you either. And before you know, we've made ourselves an island. And we're the only one on that island. We have negated the world. Let's start from block A. First of all, if you are evolving and growing, then, and you're in that category, we always say that when you're on a vibration, people will just naturally start to fall away from you and new ones will come in. That's a very natural, organic process. All right? So if you are in that category, you're set. Just stay on your path. Stay with the people you've been with, but they will start to fall away because they can't stand your growth. And that's the truth. Now, but if you're someone who's just trying to set boundaries and you're just letting all these people in that are not serving you, not helping you to be the best you can be, then it's time for you to or are taking advantage of you. We let people take advantage. Are you a people pleaser? Are you a person who collects strays? You've got to start seeing where in you, why is it that I'm not setting up boundaries? Because if you're a people pleaser, you're going to have a very hard time setting boundaries and having that no, because inside you there is something that says, oh, I want them to like me, or oh, I've got to make myself more like them, when really you don't. So you have to kind of look at why am I not filling my world with people who want to, who are better for me and fit my world better? Why am I filling my world with people who want things of me, are negative and critical of me, who actually are not good for me? And you have to look at that inside first. And you have to find out, that Taoism one, that's the perfect meditation to do for something like this. And I said it in the last question, but it is just getting yourself relaxed, seeing a white light come through the crown of your head and down, and allowing it's clearing the path. And all of a sudden it'll go chink and it stops. And it's like, it can't get past. It does. I swear to God, it works. And so then it's your job to say, okay, what is this? Oh, I'm a people pleaser. And I do it because of whatever. And you say, okay, I need to work on why do I feel insecure about this? It's funny. Was I a people pleaser? I was a little bit, but it actually stemmed from something. And I bet if you are a people pleaser or something in that realm, it comes from something. And I went back to my days when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, when I started working with my dad in his business. Yes, we did that back then. I think we still do. And I was known as his little diplomat. In fact, that was my nickname. You're my little diplomat. Look at you. And I would go with him anytime, like skeet shooting. Okay, his client would want him to go skeet shooting. He'd bring me because I don't know. People liked my energy even back then, and it just helped him seal the deal, basically. And I was a good conversationalist. He used to say that I could make anything. If I saw a confrontation, I could always find the middle ground and ease everything. So anyway, needless to say, I wanted to please my dad. Before I know it, I turned into kind of a people pleaser. And so it can come from something like that. And when you know that, then you can say to yourself, well, I don't need that anymore. I'm going to start pleasing myself. And from when I'm pleased, then I can help others feel happy, but do it from a place of love and light versus needing. Get it? And when you start doing that, then that is key. Everything you do in life has to come from inside. So you have to work on inside first. Now it's time to see how the boundaries. Well, if you do the work inside, you change your vibration. Now you're on the vibration part. People are not going to want to be around a person who doesn't want to be, especially if they want to be catered to and they want to abuse or they want to be toxic. They will want a people pleaser. Why? Because they're easy targets. And they'll do anything for you out of need. But if you start saying to yourself, okay, I don't want that anymore, then they're not going to want to be around someone they can't abuse. Setting boundaries and saying no to things, it's practice. It's practice. Again, it's inside yourself. I'm not going to be used as a doormat anymore. I'm not going to allow people to plow things on me. My time is important. I want my time to be filled with blank. It can be filled with love, with goodness, or with growth, or maybe charity work, or maybe what do I want my life to be filled with? And so when other things come in, like, can you run to the store for me? Or can you do these hundreds of errands? Or could you run up the school volunteer system or something? Say, wait, does that fit into where I'm going? Well, no, my heart is with doing Habitat for Humanity, or my heart is writing a book. I need to focus on that. And turn to that and say, I can't do that right now. I'm so sorry. Maybe next time around. And you just set up a boundary and you're learning how to say no. What I'm trying to say is if you set up false boundaries, then you're going to just be like a Nazi saying, God, God, God. and you're going to find yourself all alone. And instead, if you work on it from the inside, then when you set up your boundaries, they're authentic. And they come from a different kind of place. You might find that some of those people that you thought you would have to get rid of, or those situations you thought you'd have to get rid of, actually fit right in, okay. And others go. But it has to come from inside. You have to do the work. You have to look at, why am I collecting all this toxicity? Why am I doing all this, collecting all these strays that want something of me? Or why am I? You have to look, find it, talk to it, find out where it comes, and then either morph it into something good or let it go. Hope that helps. I thank you all for your amazing questions today. Really, that boundary thing is so important. And also, we learned about settling. To tell you the truth, it all comes together. It really does. The boundaries, the settling, the complacency. We have been sold such a book of falsehoods that it's time to wake up. There's so much more out there. Listen, go ahead and check out Soul Manifesto if you have time. I'm really excited. The whole website is new and different. I'm very excited. Let me know what you think. I always love to know what people think. And also on that, we have a 7-day reset for your inner calm. And the best way to start working on yourself is to develop that calmness inside. Because when you do that, it feels so fantastic that you want to keep it. And that right there is evolving. Because I'll tell you what it does. You'll know when drama walks in the door. You'll know when toxicity walks right in the door. Those red flags, oh yeah, they're right there. Then you can just say, that's not part of my world. Isn't that cool? So that's the 7-day reset. And if you have questions, there's a place on the website to put questions that I can answer for Ask Alena, or you can text 46862. Most of all, remember, Spirit is love. And when we celebrate that love in our life, we have spirit. Namaste. I love you all.
This has been Magical Moments with Alena, featuring Alena Chapman. If you missed an episode, download it now on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, CastBox, Deezer, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, or your favorite podcast platform. Learn more online at soulmanifesto.com.
Podcasts by Federated Media.